Welcome to another episode of Daily Musings from Sacred Ground. Today I'd like to speak a little bit about what I call embodied theology. Yesterday I had a good day. I was on a Zoom call. Earlier we had done our church service on Zoom. I'm a pastor, and right now with COVID, we're doing things that way. But by late in the day, I was feeling like, I need something. And I went for a walk with the dogs, probably about a mile-long walk, and that helped, but it wasn't enough. And when we got home, the dogs and I saw there's this lavender bush that we're trying to dig out, hoping to transplant because we recently bought a small cherry tree at the nursery, and we need to get it in the ground. And this is this place we've picked, so we need to transplant one tree and put in the other. And so I got the shovel and the pickaxe, and I started working out there. It was fairly warm yesterday, and after a while I was sweating. And I realized, this is great. This is great. I'm sweating. I quit going to the local gym, over a year ago when the pandemic started. Certainly getting less exercise than I was. I need to be in my body. We have a church. We started this way back, 2009, and it's a melding of Buddhism and Christianity and earth-centered spirituality. And I love all three of those traditions, but sometimes the Buddhist side and the Christian side can have less of an embodied feel to them. Some Buddhists will say, if they're speaking of rebirth or reincarnation, they'll speak of leaving this body behind like an old set of clothes. And of course we can get, with Christianity, we can get very in our heads or very spiritual and kind of even denigrating the body. This body is part of me. And I don't know how it all works after we die, and what is that's left behind. But in this moment, I touch this face, I feel this. And I want to hold a spirituality and a theology that celebrates the body. That celebrates being this earthy thing. When I was in seminary, one of my classes, we read a book by Nathan D. Mitchell called Meeting Mystery. And I appreciated what he said. He was speaking of the liturgy, and he was speaking of, you bring the body to the church. And, think about it. I grew up with a combination of Catholic and Protestant tradition. But think about it, you come in and sometimes there's the smell of the candles or the incense. There's the way the light comes through the stained glass. The taste of the host and the grape juice or the wine. When it's not pandemic times and you're exchanging a sign of peace with others and shaking hands, singing together, all these different sense dimensions that are touched, that are awake in that spiritual service. And my goodness, I want that wakefulness as much as I can in life. And I can get so in my head and so in my thoughts. And even with this, I mean, this is lovely. I'm sharing with you. I may know you. I may have never met you. I may never meet you. And there's goodness in this. But we're not breathing in the same air in this moment. We're not smelling the same odors. We're not hearing the same sounds outside or feeling the breeze if we were outside. A theology that is not embodied, a spirituality that is not embodied, for me, it just doesn't make any sense. And so part of my work and my invitation, of course, for you to reflect upon is how do we bring ourselves back to the body? Back to our presence in this weighty thing. This thing that feels and smells and tastes and sees and touches and sweats. How glorious. How glorious that we have these bodies that can sweat, that can perspire, that can be alive, that can ache and feel. Enjoy the sacredness, the utter sacrality of these bodies that are a part of us. I'm Michael Malley, and you've been listening to Daily Musings from Sacred Ground.